Hello, friend here. Welcome back to Farming Simulator 25 on Alma, Missouri here. Since last episode, let's just say some mistakes were made here. Yeah, I started the mower there on a hired worker instead of course play. So, got a couple options here. I haven't either one. I've got to go buy a rake. I don't think we actually own a rake, or if we do, don't think I've used it here yet. Actually, we'll go look in the shed here, see what we got here. I'm not sure if we got a rake or not. So we could hire course play or have course play re-rake the field, or we'll just bale the field ourselves, which is that's what we're going to go with them. We'll just bale the field ourselves here. This will give us the option here too to clean up a little bit around the outside edge there. Let's see, do we? Oh yeah, we do actually own a rake, Evan. We actually do own a rake and a tedder there. I don't think we've used either one of those pieces of equipment. Probably, to be honest, could just get rid of them, I think. Again, we've just been doing silage bales, Kevin, so really no need, I don't think, for rakes and tedders when we're doing this. So anyway, got the John Deere C44 1R. Can't say I've ever seen that model baler here in real life, everyone. Yeah, I don't do a lot of silage bales around where I live, probably, I think. Don't see a whole lot of wrap bales, period, to be honest. There's a few farmers here and there that'll wrap some bales, but for the most part, it's hay and straw. So, and obviously hay and straw, I don't typically wrap them, at least not with this kind of wrap. Oh, you know what? And I wonder... In theory, I should be able to... Let me go to the mowing tractor here a minute. Oh, what width did the mowing tractor have on it here? 9.4 meters. Okay. So if I set this to 9.4 meters, and this is what I was saying, I'm like, Giants is so close to being able to, just have a hired worker do this here. Just, oh, actually, no, not AI. I need to set this. There we go. But yeah, just under hired worker, I could set him to 9.4 and hire the worker, and there he would go. I think I've got everything set up just to automatically do this here, I do believe. Let's see, does it automatically drop? Verdict is no, maybe not. This ought to fill up a bale right here. That fills up a bale right there. Oh, okay, nope, we are not set to automatically drop. I'm like, what's going on here? Oh yeah, let's switch you to automatic. There we go. I don't know if that's maybe just a setting you got to change every time or what it is, everyone, but seems like I have set that setting before, and obviously, well, here we are setting it again. So, oh well. We'll have to say, when you have all the mods that kind of automate some of the stuff, one makes doing silage bales like this a little more tolerable. Otherwise, if you got to push all the buttons yourself every time, it's like, oh my goodness, and then stop and yeah, get all the bales unloaded, like, oh. But yeah, you got the mod that kind of automates this a little bit of a lot nicer. I'm pretty much just sitting here watching at this point. This is almost a little bit too easy, right? And then, like I was saying, too, I think we're going to go around the outside edge here and clean up some of these piles here. Those are, I think, mostly... Well, actually, no, I shouldn't. They're actually not all from course play, because I noticed the hired worker here was doing it as well. The hired worker comes through, and when he gets to the end here, that front mower is obviously sticking out quite a bit further than the back mowers, so he's got to overrun every time, and that's, I think that's from actually the front mower there, I do believe. like we're getting a decent number of bales here. I was looking at the yield map here before I started recording. Actually, that one right there. Like, ooh, only kind of a yellowish orange here. So, doesn't look like the greatest yield according to that screen here this time around. Although when it comes to the hay here, again, I'm not sure how much of that is like really... Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see how many bales we get when we go through these tall spots here and do the cleanup pass. Since last episode, by the way, got all the rest of the fields here fertilized and limed. You might notice here field 6, of course, is not limed, or not fertilized, I'm sorry, is not fertilized. That is because there are soybeans on that field, and soybeans in the game here do not take fertilizer, at least with precision farming. Just maybe something to note of, and if you're not playing with precision farming, then you do still need to fertilize them. So just make note of that one. Yes, you do need to fertilize them. If you're not playing with precision farming, you need to fertilize them twice. Same as all the other crops, right? Kind of one of the big changes there with precision farming. When you can get away with one application of fertilizer, you apply all the fertilizer at once. And it's basically the same amount of fertilizer, and just instead of 2 applications of it, you're applying it all at once. And then depending on the crop, too, some crops takes less, or in the case of soybeans, none. Or some crops take more. You know, if you look at this map over here, corn, you know, or I think that's pretty much the darkest green right there. Oh, no, not quite. Oh, 200. Okay, not quite as dark as it could be. It's at the 200. If you look at the rest of our fields, I'd say for the most part, the rest of our fields are lighter. Field 1 obviously being the lightest. That one is, what is on that field again? That is oats. So yeah, apparently oats don't need as much fertilizer. Field 4, and then 3 and 5 there. Ooh, watch where we're going here. Pulling us to the old John Deere 8400 here, up by the way. I noticed we got the European suitcase weights up front here from the looks of it. I'm not entirely sure on why the difference here between, you know, European weights and the American weights, or yeah, I guess what I consider American weights, right? That is not the line I wanted. There we go. Went to activate the line. I'm like, wait a minute. Where'd the line? Oh, it went to that one over there. Don't know why it does that sometimes, but oh well. But yeah, for those of you maybe not as familiar with farming here, when it comes to the American weights, I would say they are taller but narrower, if that makes, well, narrower, not narrower as in front to back, right? And then they don't usually have this cutout in them either, so I'm not sure what that cutout, I presume there's got to be a reason for that one. What that reason is, I don't know, but yeah. Okay, first headland pass is done. We'll go do the next headland pass here. And then maybe after I'm done with that, maybe we'll do a cleanup pass around the field here. Clean up those big piles. Again, very curious to see what we'll get off of those. And of course, once these bales are done fermenting, we'll get them picked up and sold here. I think we're making like around 30,000, something like that, off these, if I remember correctly. So, you know, again, we're not making a lot of money, but we're, you know, $30,000. Nothing to sneeze at here, right? Especially, we've spent a fair amount of money here in the last couple episodes here, between seeders and planters, and, well, the fields don't really count. Speaking of which, by the way, we are pretty much down to, I think, where we were before we had to, like, rebuy and refertilize and relime everything here, Evan. So, which again, that kind of sucked. Evan had to redo a bunch of work, rebuy our fields. Fortunately, we didn't have to replant them. At least we didn't have to do that, right? That was nice of the game, I guess. Still kind of annoying we had to fertilize and lime and everything. I'm not entirely sure why that is either, but apparently if the field gets sold, apparently that must reset the precision farming data for that field. Also reset our bonus as well, too. I'll just note that as well. So, again, probably not the biggest deal, right, Evan? But it's still a little bit of money here. If we go to our soil type here, we're currently at a 63 score here. Most of our fields, I believe we were like pushing 80 something here. Yeah, 57. Wow, okay, a couple of those fields are really low. Yeah, you can tell. All the new fields, right? Which this one was new anyway, but still. These fields were not new. We're pushing 90 on field 1 here, which is a field we kept. I didn't sell that field when we switched. Well, just a reminder here, everyone, if you haven't clicked that subscribe button, don't forget to do so. Always very much appreciated. And as always, if you like the video, don't forget to click that thumbs up icon there as well. And if you'd like to join us in on our multiplayer servers, you can find our multiplayer server information down below in the description there. Again, anyone is welcome to join as long as you can play nicely and follow those rules. And speaking of multiplayer, by the way, we are currently playing on Waseca County, Minnesota on the multiplayer server. Another good American-style map there. Speaking of maps, by the way, I'm kind of leaning towards after we are done with the harvest here on this map, maybe we'll start looking at another map here. So, I don't know, another week or two's worth of episodes here. And then I'm thinking it's probably time for a new map. So if you folks have any good suggestions, let me know. Throw them down below here. I know there's been a few folks that have suggested some different... oh, crap, this is right, empty. Some various Michigan maps. There's several different ones available, so we'll have to see what's about that. Let's see, white. Sure. We'll just do white again. I think the wrap usually lasts about one field, if I remember correctly, so... Bale definitely beeps a lot. Means we're, like, almost always on the verge of full, it seems like. Almost complete here with the second headland. And like I said, we'll go around and do some cleanup here then. Tractor does not want to turn quick with this baler, does it? Oh, and we must be full. Yep, okay. That little bit of hay grass we got right there filled us up. Oh, we might have to go across some of these piles twice here to get these all picked up. Oh, this is where sometimes they that extra wide pickup on that OP baler. I know I still talk about that baler when we had back in the end of Farming Simulator 22 there. I guess probably the reason for it, Evan, is I'm not the biggest fan of OP equipment, right? But with that, it sure was nice here for cleaning up the messes that hired workers leave. And this is exactly why I'm talking about these messes, Evan, because you can see the messes that all these hired workers are leaving behind all the time. The extra grass and whatnot, right? Ooh, I was going to guess that one was going to about fill us, but not quite. This one definitely probably will. Yep. Yeah, we'll have to go around the field a second time here, everyone, just to clean the rest of this up here, I think. Okay, and then is there more down here? I think there was, right? Yep, there we go. You can tell which way the hired worker apparently goes most of the time. Wonder if I set the hired worker up to do the headland last. I wonder if that would help everyone. I'm just throwing some ideas out here to see once if, yeah, maybe clean this up better here by just running the course play course headland last, you know, inside of the part of the field first course. And or maybe more headlands. I wonder if more headlands would help as well. I'll have to check. I would assume the hired worker's probably doing two, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Yeah, I think we're getting about as many bales doing this as we were doing like the first headland pass there, it seems like. Was that a little bit I missed there? Probably a little bit I missed on that headland, looks like. Swing over, get that. That is a big pile of grass there. Wow. And again, by the way, this is grass here, of course, by the way, Evan. I know sometimes I kind of refer to it as hay, which, to be honest, real life, Evan, that's probably what I would call it. Wouldn't typically ever call this grass, usually. We just call it hay. It's just hay that is not dry. Or as the game calls it, it is grass per the game. Oh, not quite full. Which is annoying. Now it's going to make us drive really slow until we get to the next pile here. Speaking of which, looks like we got just a couple piles right along here to a knockout. Then we should be good, and we'll start going up and down the field here. You know, again, I mean, a lot of times this is something I would have course play do. And if it wasn't for the fact that I had accidentally hired a regular worker instead of course play, I probably would have had course play do this here for us. But alas, I mean, again, I hired a regular worker, so the regular worker just, you know, went whatever direction you wanted, right? And again, the only way you're going to get course play to work with that then after that point is you're going to have to either rake the field or, well, you're gonna have to rake the field. I don't think there's any other options that I know of, everyone. And, you know, courseplay doesn't have the ability to just like auto detect a windrow and follow the windrow that I know of. Be kind of a cool feature, right? But I don't believe that is a thing. Oh, there's a Bale right in our way there. What? Come on now. Actually, now that I think about it, I wonder if the course is actually set up to run the other way around her. I bet you it is. Because normally when it comes to baling like the 7, usually I like to run my baling courses so that the headland is last. At least if I remember to do it anyway. That's always the problem there, right? I don't always remember to set the headland to be last when it comes to this. But if I do remember one, that's usually how I like to run it. So I wonder, it might be set that way already. Shouldn't take us too long here to finish the field here at this point. With that being said, let's head over to the comment section in a moment, see what you folks had to say here for last episode. Reminder again, always enjoy reading all your comments, so if you got something to say, throw it down below. Starting off with the first comment here from Nira Lusa. Apologies, probably did not pronounce your name correctly, but I was saying great content. Worked like a charm on my corrupted save game. Thank you. Hey, thank you very much for that comment here. And yes, I know for those of you who follow the channel, I mention this here a lot. And I think it's worth mentioning. I mean, a lot of people do not know about this feature. Giants does not seem to advertise it, which I still don't understand. Like, hey, Giants, you did a great job on this feature. There's a few maybe they haven't done such a great job at, right? But they did a great job on this feature. They don't advertise it. They don't really like implement it in the game either. Like, it'd be nice if they had like a little menu in the game, like, hey, restore save game. They don't, that I know of. Maybe somebody can help me on that one. But to my knowledge, there's no like restore save game option anywhere in the game. You have to do it manually. But hey, at least it works. It's easy enough, everyone. Just move some files around. You got it. So again, for those of you who ever have to restore a save game, make sure you check my channel out. Just do a quick search and you should be able to find several videos on it. I've done one for pretty much, I think, every single version of Farming Simulator, at least in the last few versions anyway. With that being said, it's the same on all versions of Farming Simulator to my knowledge. With that, next comment here from Christopher. Christopher was asking, have you ever tried to plant pumpkins? Oh, looks like, okay, he's actually asking in real life. Have you ever tried to plant pumpkins in real life? Yes, I have planted pumpkins in real life. We have not planted pumpkins in our garden here at this house. Pumpkins, one of those crops that just, yeah, they take up some space. Having kind of like a watermelon, or any melon for that matter. Melons tend to take up a lot of garden space. But yes, I have planted pumpkins in the past. I mean, another melon. And I would say as far as melons are concerned, they are probably one of the easier melons to grow because, well, generally, I think most people don't usually eat pumpkin. So you don't have to worry about, you know, ripeness and all that good stuff. Usually the pumpkins around here are just purely a decorational thing. I mean, there's a few people that are making, you know, pumpkin pies from the pumpkins. But for the most part, I mean, generally speaking, most people growing pumpkins are not making pumpkin pie or any pumpkin anything from their pumpkins. They're just purely decorational. So, with that being said, like I said, I would say they're a fairly easy plant to grow. Again, you know, you're not growing it for food, so really don't care what it does. Let's see. Josh was saying this new wheel is similar to the Teampseak steering wheel and pedals. So yeah, there's different controllers out there, of course, available for the farming simulator there. I've got 2 different ones there myself. Yeah, can't really go wrong with either one of them, to be honest, if you ask me. I mean, obviously, one's quite a bit more expensive than the other one there. Or you have, it was Teampseak, it's now Logitech, by the way, of course. But Logitech, there we go. Ones, yeah, they both work really well. One, for those of you maybe considering getting into farming simulator, having a steering wheel of some sorts, highly recommend it. That's what, about halfway done with the field here. I'm just looking here and I see a couple of windrows left. We're making some pretty good progress here. That being said, we are getting close to the end of the episode here as well, so we might not be able to quite finish here by the end of the episode, but we'll be close. Next comment here from Emily. Emily was saying, I wish I hadn't binned my Coolmaster HAF 932. That is a computer case, by the way, for those of you wondering what that is. And yes, that is the case that I still have on my computer yet. The Coolmaster HAF 932. Wow. That is an old case here at this point. I mean, I have had that case. I don't know how many years I've had this case. I have had... Oh, I'm trying to think here. How many computers have I had in this case now? I'm going to say 6? 5 or 6 of them? I think I've had 5 or 6 computers in this case. For those who are not familiar with the case here, it is a big, big case. Plenty of room for all kinds of activities. You know, whatever you want to put in it, it pretty much guaranteed it'll probably fit. Plenty of room for water cooling as well. With that being said, it's maybe not set up the best for water cooling just because it was kind of like pre-water cooling era. So it does have some water cooling capabilities, but it's probably maybe not the best one for it. It does hold a 360 rad up top, but there again, just the offsets and stuff. The case has plenty of room, everyone. It's just, it's not really set up the best for it as far as like the offsets and stuff, like where they've got it positioned. But again, it does work, so. With that being said, I am not water cooling my computer anymore, everyone. I've gone completely air cooling here on my current setup, and I've been quite happy with it here so far. I believe I mentioned this here, what are we going on? A month or 2 ago now, I upgraded my computer here, everyone. And I say upgraded here. You folks can debate me in the comments if you want on that one. I went from an Intel 13900KF CPU to an Intel Core Ultra 265. Is that an upgrade or a downgrade? Hard to say, everyone, hard to say. As far as actual performance is concerned, it probably was a downgrade, everyone. However, as far as heat, noise, I would say it was an upgrade. And that was kind of the main reason why I did that upgrade, everyone. That 13900KF was just a hot CPU. And talk about a power sucker as well. Which, I mean, makes sense, right? It's producing a lot of heat, so it's probably sucking down a lot of power too, right? And then, of course, to try to keep all that heat cool, you really got to crank up the fans and stuff on it. I was running a 360 AIO on that CPU to try to keep it cool. Yeah, good luck. That didn't exactly work. Now I'm just running a Noctua, the NHD 15, I believe it is, dual fan one. Computer obviously makes a little bit of noise here with the fans on it, but it's perfectly acceptable in my opinion compared to what it was. So I am quite happy with the upgrade. Or is it a downgrade? Whichever way you want to look at it. Anyway, it is time to wrap it up here for this episode. When you folks have any comments or questions, be sure to leave them down below. And as always, thanks for watching. Till next time.